They'll never take away my freedom. I'm a red-blooded American. These colors don't run and they're so majestic. I'll fight all enemies, foreign and domestic, for the glory of Uncle Sam. Well, they tried to raise the tax rate again, and that's when I said hell no. Gonna take it to the ballot this coming election. Vote somebody in to move us in the right direction. Those progressives have got to go. They'll never take away my freedom. I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is the best country 'cause God himself blessed it. We'll fight all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's time for us to take a stand. Well, they're trying to grab our guns again, and that's when I'd had enough. They handed down their orders to the policeman. The officer's just trying to do the best he can. I know his job can be so tough. They'll never take away my freedom. Gonna stick it to the man. We're patriots, so together we best stick and fight all enemies, foreign and domestic. Don't tread on us or we'll start making a plan. Well, they're trying to shut down our free speech, and I say that's the last straw. You can't tell a man what he can and can't say. I'll take it to the Supreme Court one day, though in the meantime I'll obey the law. They'll never take away my freedom. It's time to make them all understand. They're getting so tyrannical and fascistic. I fight all enemies, foreign and domestic, for the glory of Uncle Sam. One more time. I'm being serious, not being sarcastic. But don't touch Social Security, 'cause that's my estate. I'll fight all enemies, foreign and domestic, for the glory of Uncle Sam. For the glory of Uncle Sam.
Thursday show.
Yeah.
Not really a show, but a show.
We're going to rewatch our interview with John McAfee and his wife Janice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I'm still in denial. I'm still holding out hope that he faked it all and he's happy somewhere on a beach with Janice having lots of drinks. So that's what I believe. That's what I believe. So thanks for coming in. Yeah, I don't know. Dave is going to see what you guys think about the chat. If you want to have, do you want to show him?
No, we're good. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Because I have two scenes set up.
Yeah.
Like, I have
I'm
one
bummed,
like this.
Craig. I'm bummed. I am.
Where it has all the chats on the screen. I just
Yeah.
put us in here to put something in here. But it seems really busy, and I don't know if
it's up
that's
to you
necessary.
guys.
Or we just
Yeah.
go full screen, which is what I'm planning on doing, and just
And then that's all the chat from the show
Yep.
only.
We'll
so
ju-
there
we'll
wouldn't be
just
live chat on the
talk
screen.
to you guys in
Yep.
the comments section.
Yes. Yep. So hi, Sunny. Thanks for coming. Hi to everybody. I saw y'all come in, so I'm sorry. I'm like not naming names and stuff. So.
It's just me, or does the quality even look better? I don't even know what I changed.
I don't even know, but I like it. It looks good to me. So.
All right, we'll just
do
play
the stuff. David says do the stuff.
Okay, well,
Yeah, no, that's when you
Yeah,
ask
no,
your
that's-
boss a
don't worry about
question.
it.
Do you want me? Yeah, no, that's.
don't worry about it.
All right, well, keep us posted, guys. See what you think. So, but we can still see your comments here, and you guys can see each other's comments on Facebook. YouTube comments aren't coming through though, so I mean they are for us, but not.
YouTube's getting all the comments.
Yeah, they're not. So, what?
Oh yeah, you see it? You saw the Clorox.
That is. Oh my gosh! Wait a second. Is that not usually visible? Yeah.
I think
Can you pass
maybe.
the Clorox?
I think you're over too far. Because you
Maybe. I
see
don't
my
know.
loco.
I don't know. Oh yeah, there's a logo.
Oh, whatever. Let's start the
Okay.
show.
Yeah, guys. All right, so we're gonna start it up now. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't have a button for this. I have to manually do this.
That's okay.
That's the wrong one.
Those in
That's the
quarantine.
wrong one.
Okay. Oh man.
He's calling me.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does it work? Are you okay with that? But you're connecting. Oh, my gosh!
Hold on
Hello.
a second. Let me bring you up here. Hopefully we can all hear each other. Please work. Hey, there you are. I'll find you.
Yep. Dave's gonna just drag your picture onto the
window's
screen.
Is that it? Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, usually I do a little setup before.
This is
Let me make sure. Oh, I don't even know if he can. There we go. We'll bring him through. You guys can start
okay.
talking.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna introduce you, but does anybody not know who you are? I'm excited that you're here today. It's Mr. John McAfee. Should I call you Mr. McAfee or John, or what would you prefer? Does it matter to you? People ask. I don't want to just assume like.
You could either call me Your Grace, Your Majesty. No, call me John for fuck's sake. Sorry.
Yes, Your Majesty. No. So, okay, we are super excited to have you here.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is-
Liberty Late Night. This is how we roll. I'm Mary. This
I'm
is Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Super nice to meet you. We just like to sit back, have a few drinks, get to know people, and we're super laid back. So, no real hard
Are you?
crazy questions.
We try to be. We're super nervous right now, but usually we're
I
pretty.
got
Yeah.
dressed in my formal attire. I didn't need to do that, huh?
Oh,
You
yeah.
do look sharp. Yeah, I'm wearing pajama pants.
He's
This
got
is kinda-
pajama pants on, yeah.
Quarantine, aka house arrested.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing jeans for the first time in days, so, it's all good. So I want to ask,
Are you guys locked in?
we are. I mean, to a point where you're not supposed to go out unless you have your papers to go to work or,
We're not supposed to. We're going to.
yeah,
the
go
store.
to the grocery store or the hospital.
But we're doing it to ourselves. That way we feel empowered, rather than saying they're making us do this. This is what we decided to do.
Yeah.
Is to stay in and avoid
Yeah.
social interaction.
Fair enough then.
It makes me feel. How about you? Are you, I mean, you're,
We're in Eastern Europe, and we're in a severe martial law country.
wow.
I mean, severe. Our friend got arrested last week for sneaking out early in the morning and swimming alone in the ocean, no one around for miles.
Wow.
And he was, 2 police cars convened, and 4 policemen hauled him off.
What?
That's a lot of social interaction right there.
Right? Yeah.
It is.
That's definitely more than 2 people then. If there's 2 police
Yeah.
cars pulling up, that's more than 2 people.
And by the way, if you have a car and if you are going somewhere, no one can drive you. You must drive. Only one person allowed in a car.
Wow.
End of story. And that's the driver.
That's insane.
That That freaks me out.
That's,
I want
That's
to go
what
see
it is.
my parents, and he said, I mean, we're gonna just not go in the house. They're older, but
Drive by waving.
drive by, wave to them. And Dave said we probably should do that soon before it comes to that.
Yeah, we know
one
that
person
it's all coming here.
Yeah, per.
So just people in the car, you guys are lucky. You guys are very, very lucky.
Wow. Wow.
So and people are turning in their neighbors here. See, we've been in it for a month, all right?
Oh yeah.
And people are turning in their neighbors for going outside to get some sunlight or a breath of fresh air. No. Photographs of policemen beating elderly people just because they're out in the street for no cause.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
it's serious.
appalling. That is awful. I'm afraid it's going to get that way.
Yeah, that's. I'm afraid we're looking into the future when you talk.
Yeah, yeah. Because I just
Yeah,
want to be in my
we're-
backyard, hanging out.
A month ahead of you guys, all right?
Yeah.
We were actually in Spain when they locked down. We went to visit friends. We got there late in the evening and woke up in the morning to lockdown. Overnight, they imposed martial law. Now, Spain, you want to see a serious freaking lockdown. My God. We escaped from that 8 days later. Can't tell you how. It would endanger everybody who helped us. But nevertheless.
Sounds like running
then-
from North Korea.
No, it was ugly. And we're so thank God. And then the next day after we get home, we're locked down.
Wow.
We've been locked down ever since.
So yeah, we saw
So-
some of your posts. We love the piano.
Yes, I want to say, and can you tell us about the bird? Is that your bird then? And you play music with your bird and hang out?
It's actually not my bird, but it's a friend. The bird is a friend of mine.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that
And we
happens in lockdown.
And we are locked down together, the bird and I.
Okay.
And the bird's cage is temporarily right next to the piano. So when I go to play the piano, the bird joins in with the fuck you, because he fell. What? Bitch! No, I'm playing, getting to what I think a nice, quiet, melancholy piece. Now you're, bitch!
Throw a little,
Fuck you.
little hip hop in there.
Right.
Got Lil Wayne in the background.
Oh, that's so great. So when did you learn to play the piano?
I've never taken lessons. I just bought a piano, I don't know, 50 years ago and started banging on it.
Do it.
It's not myself.
Yeah.
I can't play music. I can't read music. Can't play anybody else's tunes. I just play what comes out.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I can't read music either. Oh, yeah. I played the clarinet once.
Necessary thing. So
What was that last part? It cut out for me.
I said, apparently you don't need to be able to read music out here.
No,
So-
I don't think so. Yeah, either. Go ahead. Were you going to say
No,
something?
I was just reading a comment.
Comments. Okay, so I've added this question too when we talk to people because I'm curious. What was your first job? I like to talk to people about that.
My first job I made myself. That was mowing lawns when I was 9 years old in Salem, Virginia, using my dad's lawnmower. Because listen, nobody likes to mow lawns, do they? I mean, I certainly don't. Some kid comes along with a mower saying, "I'll mow your lawn for $1.75." People go, "Okay, it's a deal." So I mow everybody's lawns all summer long in the neighborhood, and in the winter I would shovel snow. Come by with a snow shovel. You want me to shovel your walk for 50 cents? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that was my first job. Then my first real job was a paper route, where I don't know if they have newspaper deliverers anymore. Do they?
Not kids.
Not usually kids. Yeah.
No.
Somebody in an SUV.
No.
Out on the counter.
But it used to be that the kids, and this is the business. You weren't paid by the newspaper company. You were paid by the customers, and you had to pay for the newspapers that were delivered to you. It's an entrepreneurial business.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually took over multiple routes and had other kids carry for me, and I paid them a salary. And then I'd take if I would take the money, I would collect on Saturdays, pay them, and keep the rest. And then I would always collect on Christmas to all of the routes because then you'd get these massive tips. I mean, I made a fortune.
Yeah.
So that's my first real job. Then after that was it just goes on and on. What anything else you'd like to know
Yeah, well,
about my job?
I just was curious about that. But how did you get into programming? I mean, what was that decision for you?
I've majored in mathematics in college, got a degree in math, went to grad school at Louisiana State and then Virginia Polytechnic Institute. Didn't get a degree. I could care less about a degree. I just wanted to stay in school. It was a nice place, right?
Oh yeah.
I was always on scholarship, so I didn't have to worry much about money. In any case, so I got tired and thought, I'm just going to take the summer off. I'm going to go back next fall. I got a job with General Electric in Salem, Virginia, and they were the first process automation computer manufacturer. Process automation of the computers that control industrial processes like canning companies, mills, steel mills. They put me through a programmer training program for months. I decided in the middle of this, I ain't going back to school. I finally found a real application for mathematics other than being an actuary for an insurance company or teaching. I mean, really, math, right. Pure math is a rare profession. So anyway, but pure math and computers, good Lord, that was perfect. So I ended up being, in the end, responsible for the automation of Australia Iron and Steel's steel mill in Port Kembla, New South Wales. And process automation, if you don't know about computing, is the most technical of all computing because you're dealing with real time. Yeah. I mean, you have to know exactly what each instruction takes in terms of microseconds. Now it's nanoseconds. You have to, I mean, it's a very technical thing. So from that, I became in great demand because General Electric was the only process automation computer manufacturer in the world at the time. I went from there. Where did I go from there, Janice? After, Jesus, my brain. I didn't go straight. So, did I? Or did I? Yes, I did. I did. I went to NASA. I got a job at NASA's Institute for Space Studies in New York because part of process automation is dealing with massive amounts of real-time data. Whether it's real time or not, it's still massive amounts. So I was assigned the world's first weather satellite was TIROS, T-I-R-O-S. I was assigned the job of reducing the data because it was sending back data, but we didn't have any way to analyze it. I don't know what they were thinking of at the time, what they're going to hire 10,000 people and assign each one a specific minute of the day. I don't know. But in any case, so I finished that job. I got that done working on an IBM, the first IBM mainframe, the general purpose, the IBM 360, which at the time was quite an astonishing machine. It's far less powerful. And by the way, that was at the time a supercomputer. And today, in today's world, it would be less powerful than your smartphone. Yeah. That's just a life. And it was before we had keyboards and monitors. All right. You got into the computer one of two ways. You input cards which were punched with your code. Every card was an instruction in your program.
That's so crazy.
Yes. Or you threw switches on the front panel. GE, we threw switches on the front panel for almost everything. Again, you don't have CRT screens. You don't have keyboards. What do you do? Did not get the first computer with a freaking keyboard. They didn't come out until early 70s. Actually, the people, forget how crude programming was when it first started. There were no higher level languages. No one ever heard of Fortran, COBOL, and then the more modern languages, C, C++, and these things. No one had heard of that. It was all assembly. And in assembly language, every instruction is one machine instruction. So you get to know exactly what hardware is by programming in assembly language. And my first 15 years of my programming career was in assembly language. So I understand as well as anybody what the relationship between software and hardware is, and how that dance can create magic.
I don't.
So that,
Thank God for people like you.
that's how I got into computing. I got in and cut my teeth on the most technological computers of the day. And from NASA, I went to Univac, which was the second largest computer manufacturer in the world at the time. They since went out of business, not because of me, I hope, but obviously I was there. They to design operating systems for their mainframes, and that was fun. So I learned a lot more about multitasking and so on from designing operating systems. And then went on. Usually about every 2 years I would change jobs. So that was my career.
Nice. Did you change jobs just because you got bored with what was happening there? Yeah.
Yes, I got absolutely. I got bored with what was happening. I get bored easy, which is why I've been in lockdown for a month, and I'm ready to go postal.
So I can imagine.
Now, do you watch TV? Like, do you watch Netflix or Hulu or anything like that to pass the time, or just take your mind off of things?
Yeah, when Janice and I are not having kinky sex, which is rare. But yeah.
You watch some. Yes, I think the question is, are you watching Tiger King?
No, listen, I watched the first couple. It's too long. I can't get involved in these long series. I mean, if it's more than an hour, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
I've gotten a short attention span, like most of social media users.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So what is it that you will watch then if you turn on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever kind of device?
It depends. I mean, recently I've been going on YouTube and I've been watching short films. By the way, if you're a short film fanatic, YouTube has got some astonishing short films, and mostly I like the 5 to 8 minute animated films. Some of those are astonishing. And then sometimes I just get a wild hair and I want to know something. I looked up ocean disasters last week, and Janice and I spent a few hours looking at horrific storms at sea. Not live, but I mean like real video footage, not recreated. So it just depends.
That's fascinating. The whole like shipwrecks and stuff. I always enjoyed that. Looking at that. And now with YouTube, it's just so you can just go on there and type in and whatever you're looking for, and there's usually something, there.
Somebody has just asked the question if I watch Travelers. I don't think so. What is it? Listen, I don't know the names of the stuff I watch. I just go up. So, have you watched Travelers?
Travelers.
I don't know what that is.
No.
They'll have to.
I'm afraid I cannot. I cannot help the questioner.
There's a lot of different shows out there, Are you reading the comments, John?
People are thinking.
Your faces are very attractive, but I've had enough of them, so I'm reading the comments. So.
Oh no.
We stare at them like every week.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm used to seeing my face and hearing my voice now too, which is weird.
That was weird.
But not anymore. I'm used to it. But okay, so you have traveled all over the place. So I'm curious about some of the most beautiful places that you've seen that you feel like that's my favorite place on earth, and food, because we always somehow get to talking about food on the show. So like food around the world, like what? Yeah, where do you want to go? Like when you're free to get the heck out of there.
I want to go back to America, although I don't think that's ever going to be possible.
Ever?
Because America, I have been, I don't think ever. I have been all over the world, literally. And America, I mean, if you think about it, it's got two oceans, grand oceans, the Atlantic, the Pacific.
It's got deserts. It's got the Colorado Rockies. It's got the vast plains of Kansas. It's got Grand Canyon, and that is, if you have not been there, in my mind, the most awe-inspiring feature of this globe.
Wow.
To stand on the lip of that thing and not simultaneously see your own insignificance. Possible.
I've not been there yet.
Yeah.
I have. I'm gonna have to go now.
a
My
cross-country
palms are
drive
sweaty
is-
though, just thinking about standing on the lip of. Ooh, looking down. I'm afraid of
That is
heights, but
actually good.
If someone's asking about my political views, I have
Yeah,
none.
that's-
absolutely, yeah.
How did you get here?
Politics is, in my mind, a charade to keep the sheep entertained.
I feel like we have
And
to-
the more chaos in that charade, the more entertained the sheep are. So when the Republicans and the Democrats finally get to shooting each other in Congress, then we will all be happy. No, here's my view on politics. It doesn't matter who the president is, people. Seriously. Let me ask you a question. Those of you who have seen presidents come and go, when a new president came in, was a single hair on your head wafted by the awesomeness of that transition? No. You still have the same beer cans and refrigerator. Nothing changed in your life. And if you doubt that, even when presidents try to do, like Obama, 4 years almost of hard work and trillions of dollars to pass Obamacare. Well, we all knew what would happen. It would disappear as soon as the Republicans came in, and it did. Nothing ever changes. Who controls America? The people who control the information. The CIA, the covert agencies. If you doubt that, let's go back to the second Gulf War with George Bush. And the CIA wanted Saddam out of power and Iraq decommissioned because it was interfering with their plans in the region. So they got together and said, okay, we're going to bomb them then. Let's bomb them into oblivion, because they tried assassinating him multiple times. He was a slippery motherfucker, and so they did not succeed. So they went to the president and said, Mr. President, we've just discovered, please sit down, we just discovered that Iraq has nuclear weapons and missiles capable of delivering them to our closest ally, England. And, Mr. President, I regret to tell you that they may launch an attack as soon as tomorrow. So, now we're not here to advise you. We're not here to advise you. Not at all. That's not what we do. Not what we do. We're here to just inform you. And, Mr. President, I'm glad this decision is on your shoulders and not mine. What could the president do? What could any president do?
Politically,
Push the button. Quick, they're about to destroy England, right? No. Did they have nuclear weapons? Of course not. We found that out. Everybody knew it. The American public knew it. Europe knew it. Certainly the Middle East all knew. Iraq, they don't have nuclear weapons. Good Lord. They're still in the Stone Ages. Yet, we bombed them into oblivion. Now, the CIA does not always lie to get what they want. Frequently, they tell the truth. But if the truth is big enough, you can take certain pieces of it and construct whatever you want from it. And this is how they do it. So people, I don't want to be president. I'm running just so I can tell you things like this, and you might, one or two might listen. But it doesn't matter. Hillary, Donald Trump, get some derelict on the street in San Francisco, get one homeless person off the street and put him there. It will not matter. This will continue to go on because our system, people, our political system is like a car with a frozen steering wheel. It doesn't matter who's driving that mofo. It's going where it's going.
It's going to go where it's going to go, right?
Got the t-shirt. I just hope both teams had fun. I'm enjoying the show. There ain't much I can do about it as myself. Is there something we can do? Is it just knowledge?
Yes. We can stop voting into power, number one, idiots who spend $100 million to get a job paying a few $100,000. Now, my father told me, and my grandfather too, if it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. I'm sorry. So something's wrong. No, you go, oh, well, the president didn't actually, Trump didn't spend it. Other people did. I don't give a shit who spent it. Somebody spent it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? This is the question. That's number one. Before that even matters, we have to bring our covert agencies into accountability. Now, do you know what the CIA calls presidents? Transients. Transient for 4 years, 8 years at the most. And it's true.
Yeah,
CIA employees are lifetime committed to the patriotism of protecting America. Right or wrong, that's what they're committed to. And when a president comes in, I mean, for example, presidents have top secret security clearances, supposed to be able to get access to anything. No, I have a top secret, or I had one, top secret security clearance. That doesn't give you access to anything that you don't need to know about. Do you understand? The key is not security clearance. The key is need to know. So if a president says, do we have aliens? I don't care who is asking it.
Yeah.
They're going to go, Mr. President, I'm afraid you do not need to know. That's it. That's a legal response. So presidents got no power at all. They don't know anything more than you or I.
Mm-hmm.
They're just told a lot of shit that's not true, or in a way that makes the presidents act like the CIA and the covert agencies want them to act. Now, I'm not sure that's not even better. I mean, do you really want Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump running this country? Have you lost your minds? No.
Amen to that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, to think about, people really get so excited about who the president is going to be, and it's not really even supposed to matter anyway.
So do you think this is just a bunch of people, like you say the lifetime people, are they really acting in our best interest, or is there a bigger, like, is somebody kind of even leading these people to?
You know, the reason I know so much about the CIA is that they were my first customer in 1988 with virus. I was the only company that had computer security products back then. Didn't exist before viruses. I mean, the real security products. So obviously, everybody the Army was actually my first big customer. Then Ford Motors, then the CIA. And the CIA remained a close customer for forever. So I know many people in the CIA, and I know exactly how they think and how they act, what their plans are. I don't have a clue. I'm not sure what they do. But whatever, we need to accept the reality that, okay, so if this is how it's going to be, and the CIA is going to control the country, why don't we stop all this nonsense about electing presidents?
Mm-hmm.
Let
exactly.
it have its way. Wouldn't that be better? It would sure make things a lot cheaper for everybody, and we get back to work doing things rather than arguing about and watching and fretting over who's going to be elected. Because I don't get it.
Yeah, that's just the front panel. Nothing's going on there.
Yeah. How do you feel about, because a lot of people in America are begging for, please shut this down, shut that down, keep us safe with this coronavirus. They're asking government to step in, and libertarians, anarchists, we're just like, well, that's taking away my rights and stuff. So what's your take on the government?
Do they have to act?
Yeah, do they have a responsibility to do this, or do they just really want to kind of go for that power?
So you're asking if the government has the responsibility to overrule the Constitution of the United States of America.
It's for our safety, right?
Yeah, people are burning the Constitution.
Well, shit, people. Let's get real. First of all, I'm not trying to belittle the fact that almost 100,000 people have died from the coronavirus. I'm not trying to belittle that. However, are you aware that in that same period of time, 630,000 people died from the flu?
Yeah.
1.3 million people died from diarrhea. And what's more important, and should be important to you guys, is that 12 million people died from starvation. Because the net result of this fucking lockdown, people, is going to be the destruction of the world economy. Yeah. And when we reach the point where we cannot even feed ourselves, do you think we're going to be sending food to Africa and Asia? No. So that 12 million dying of starvation is going to be hundreds of millions. And we are going to be stuck with an incredibly piss poor economy for a half dozen years. Now,
Do you see this
is the
happening?
net.
Worthless currency.
Question. Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, do you remember during 9/11 where they shut down all the airlines for a few days? Some of them barely recovered.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the airlines have now been shut down for a month. Do you think they're going to recover people? We're going to lose half the airlines. They're going to disappear, go bankrupt. What about the people living hand to mouth? Look this up, please God. Ask Google what percentage of America is living hand to mouth, meaning paycheck to paycheck, have nothing savings? 54%.
Oh, okay, yeah.
54 have no savings and are living paycheck to paycheck, week to week. In some countries, people have been out of work for 5 weeks, not getting paid. This pitiful $1,200 that the government's going to be giving is not going to go very far for these families, or for anyone for that matter. So what do you think is going to happen? Every major industry is going to suffer. There's going to be shakeouts. Let me tell you who's going to go first. The tourist industry. Ain't going to be no tourist this year.
That's true.
You're going to go to a foreign country for the vacation of a lifetime, not knowing, oh my God, the coronavirus is there, and who knows? No. Yeah. Die. The travel industry, including airlines, trains, automobile industry, is going to be suffering. Fuel. Do you understand? By the way, I posted a photograph of a town in Wisconsin where gas is 95 cents a gallon. I predict it's going to get down to 25 cents a gallon. Why? No one's buying it.
It sounds
Who needs
wonderful.
Listen, where we are, the only cars out are the rare emergency person going to the hospital and the police, and not many of them. Now, in an industry that's dependent upon massive daily, actually billions of dollars of income gone, what do you think is going to happen to them? Yeah. What's going to happen to our oil industry, our offshore oil platforms? People know we are approaching a catastrophe of the highest order, not caused by coronavirus, but by response to it. Now, why don't you take a look at countries like Sweden who go, fuck it, I'm not doing anything. Who cares? I mean, they look at the numbers and go, if the numbers get bad enough, we will. But are they bad enough? No. If they get worse than the flu, will you still do it? Maybe. I don't know. The flu's not that bad. It only kills no more than 500,000 people a year. No. They go, fuck you people.
Yep.
And 98 other countries have done the same. Fuck you. Yep. Look at their numbers. Their numbers are nowhere near as bad as every country that's locked down. And the people who locked down before their numbers started getting bad. Look at America. Yep. America's not locked down very much. All right, you guys get to go outside, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, fuck you.
Now, I know you got to go soon, but I have to read this from one of our friends. He wants to know his thoughts on this. He heard a story about the CIA's founding. He said a guy in HR at the FBI was in charge of choosing who was a commie and who they could trust. The guy made 2 stacks of resumes, and when he came back from lunch, the stack of the commies was missing, and they hired them. Do you ever hear anything like that?
No, I never heard anything like that. Listen, all I know is the CIA employees that I know some high level. I know about more than one of ex-station manager and a couple of current station managers. I know these people well. They don't even know. The CIA is as broken up and disparate as the U.S. government is. Nevertheless, they are the most powerful group within the U.S. government. Listen, you want to know what their power is? Miss Janice, can you come and sit with me? How much time do you have? Are we out of time?
You can be on here as long as you want to be on here. You stay as long as you want.
Can you come and sit with me? Let me tell you how powerful the CIA is from my own personal experience, and Janice will back me up on this. I don't know if you're aware of our recent history after the. By the way, I haven't paid taxes in 10 years, and I never will, ever again. I don't care what they do to me. You can torture me, I'm not doing it. I've paid over $50 million. I've paid over $50 million in taxes, and I promise you people, I have not received $50 million in fucking services. So I just stopped. And it's illegal. It's unconstitutional.
Yep.
Right off the bat, they are illegally stealing from you people. So anyway, it's up to you guys. To me, I stopped. I sent them a letter saying I'm not paying every year. When it
Notify them.
filed,
At least you tell them.
no, every year at filing time, instead of filing an income tax return, I filed a simple statement saying, I have no intention of paying you taxes. You know where I live? Now, that's not illegal. Not to file, people. Not illegal. Now, they are. Oh, this is Janice. Okay, so I need Janice.
Oh my gosh!
Hi,
Thank you.
It's been great working with you. You're amazing, like through email and everything.
Thank
I
you.
want to say it was great working with you through email and everything. You guys are really you got your game together.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So in any case, so for 10 years I didn't file, and they didn't bother me. Well, I would make a lot of noise, and they left me alone. However, 2 years ago, I started going on stages internationally, telling people, listen, taxation is illegal. If you don't want to pay it, I can tell you how to avoid paying it using privacy coins and distributed exchanges. Well, at that point, I started getting harassed. The harassment culminated in January of last year when they convened a grand jury to charge Janice and I and four of our employees with tax fraud.
Yes.
Now, people, if you know anything about fraud, it means you have lied and signed your name saying this is a true statement about how much you have, what you did with it, or so on. Listen, I didn't tell them jack shit. I didn't file a return. Tell me what I lied about. No, but it doesn't matter. The government always wins these things. You
They'll
understand?
spin it how they want to.
No, yeah. So anyway, I go, all right. I found out about it. It's supposed to be a secret affair, the grand jury, but I found out 4 days in advance. And I told Janice, my staff, said we're leaving. We went down to Miami, picked up our yacht, and sailed away to the Bahamas, 90 miles, where we stood on the beach and thumbed up our noses and says, hi, here we are. Fuck you. Now, I chose the Bahamas first because the Bahamas does not have an income tax, and therefore I cannot, by international law, be extradited for a crime that is not a crime in a country that I'm living in. The Bahamas.
You got to know the technicalities. That's great.
Pro gamer move right there.
Yeah. You know what? I knew that would not last more than a few months. I mean, the U.S., it doesn't play fair now, does it?
No.
So the CIA actually went to a gentleman named Paul Roll, the commissioner of police in the Bahamas, paid him a substantial sum, I don't know exactly how much, to arrest Janice and I on, or not even Janice, to me specifically, on any charge at all, misdemeanor, spitting on the street, who gives a shit, just put him in jail. Then the Bahamas can do anything they want with me. I'm an undesirable alien in jail. So anyway, but we found out about it. They are 6 hours ahead. We took off to Cuba with our staff again. We were in Cuba for 2 months, and the Cuban government calls Janice and I in. Now we're out riding our bikes in Havana, just having a blast. We come back to the boat. There are soldiers there with a little letter saying, be at this place tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Do not be late. So, fuck me, now what? So we had our driver take us to the place, which was an army barracks.
Yeah.
And they put us in a very comfortable room, comfortable furniture. There's not a jail type environment. And a general came in who spoke no English, but he had a translator, very polite. So, Miss McAfee, we regret. The United States has requested that we return you to America unofficially, because there is no official channel with Cuba. And we declined their request. However, Mr. McAfee, given this circumstance, we would vastly prefer that you leave our country, and we're giving you 72 hours.
Oh, nice.
Well, that was polite of them, at least,
We had been at dock for 2 months, trying to get a boat ready to leave unexpectedly in 72 hours. So because we had wherever we were
sorry.
going, we couldn't go back to the Bahamas. Wherever we're going is going to be a 3 or 4 day ocean journey. So
I was reading this. You're wanted for giving the government an anal probe. I'm sorry.
Our comments get crazy.
David Lynn got red.
so anyway, so now we're in Cuba, and we've got 70. And by the way, as we're prepping, we didn't have a captain.
Yeah, our captain had
Our
left
captain
because
had
we
gone
been
to
there
Miami
for-
because we're going to stay
we
here.
were
We had no
relaxing,
clue.
Yeah.
I thought-
we need a captain.
We'd been there for 2 months, and so he wanted to go home.
It was touch and go, and it kept coming back twice a day. Miss McAfee, are you sure?
Yeah.
You're going to be out of here in 43 hours. And I go, listen, if I have to swim to Haiti, I will be out of here in 42 hours. So we get out in time. We had 16 hours to spare, by the way. I thought it was pretty good. So 4.5, I decided, I didn't tell anybody where we're going. While we're on the boat, at sea, I go, we're going to the Dominican Republic. Why? I didn't want anybody to know in advance, so no one would know. So now 4.5. You tell the sea journey.
So
Good God Almighty.
it was 4.5 days. We didn't have enough water. We didn't have enough food. So we ran out about the second day. We had our 4 dogs on there. It was rough seas. Everybody got sick the first
10
couple of
people
days.
and 4 large dogs on a
Yeah.
boat in rough
my
weather.
gosh.
4.5
It was
days.
brutal. So we got to the Dominican Republic, and we were just all happy to, be able to get, what we needed. And we get there, and everything, the harbor, I guess is what it's called. All of the boats had been moved off to one side in the back, so they're all kind of huddled together. There was like at least 50 boats there, and they were all kind of packed into this one area. And I'm like, well, that's kind of strange. And so you could see also soldiers were kind of positioned on different what do you call those, piers
The little legs of the marina.
Yeah,
there
the
were
little
soldiers of not more than 50 feet away.
strategically placed.
Strategically placed,
yeah.
like, listen, if they're trying to keep us from getting out, we can't get out. All right. So,
Wow.
short, to make the thing short, we were boarded. They wouldn't let us get off the boat. We were boarded. We were arrested. And told.
Well, unofficially arrested. We were just detained. They didn't tell us even that. They just.
By the way, we were detained in seriously bad conditions.
Yes.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yes, the net that was, and they said, you have to go back to America.
Yeah.
I go, what? I didn't come from America. I came from Cuba.
Right.
International law says, you can ship me back to Cuba. Or a place where I request, but you can't send me to some other place. And they go, well, I'm sorry, it's very complicated. You're going back to America.
Wow.
America makes things
so we're there for 4 days. We're there for 4 days. And let me tell you, this last jail they put us in.
Yeah, mind you, we were supposed to be going to the airport. Okay, and so John always likes to tell this part of the story because I lost my cool a lot of it. But it was not, we were, like I said, they were supposed to be taking us to an airport, and they took us to another detention center. And so, I lost my shit, and they wanted to my belongings, so I had to unpack everything. And, I'm frustrated, and I was tired, exhausted. So I'm cussing everybody out, and he's, kind of just like, hey, that's my wife. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
And I asked me how I managed. I had $75,000 in cash on my person and had it the entire time. Now, don't ask me how I managed this, but keep in mind, I've been in jails in every country in this world.
Oh my God.
And so I know all the tricks there are. Anyway, I had $75,000 in cash on me. So now,
I can't even imagine.
okay, at the second detention center, it was discovered. So in any case, they're going to take it, and we're not even in. We're in the middle of the road. This is before we even got in. They're shaking us down and checking our and all this other shit. So, so they go, we're taking the money. I go, well, not without a receipt, and you want to count it. I want every. They'd never heard shit like this. Now we're
that's very responsible. What do you mean, right?
Second, you want to call it the detention center? Never seen a more horrible jail in the middle of a fucking junkyard. Literally in the middle of a junkyard. Mm-hmm. There's one street light outside and a raggedy street. So when they were just going to take it. They were going to kill us. That's no question.
Yeah,
but these were lower level people that did not understand it. I knew if I could get somebody of a captain level or above, we could straighten this out. So when I said I want a receipt, and I said it in a way that, hey, this is not an argument. Give me a fucking receipt.
Yeah.
So they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tell the colonel. And so somebody went inside, and a few minutes later, this colonel comes out. And I shake his hand, and he shakes mine, and we're two gentlemen now. And I said, Colonel, I've said, I need a receipt for the money, and I need this money counted in front of me. Can you arrange this? So they bring out a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Put it in the middle of the street, okay?
And he's counting his $100 bills.
They're all counting my $100 bills. They go in, and I request a seat. I said, I'm 74. I'm tired. Can I have a chair? So they bring me a chair. We're sitting under the sole street light in this junkyard with a cardboard box counting up $75,000 in U.S. dollars. Now, Janice panicked.
I was not panicked. I was pissed.
She was pissed.
I was angry.
There's a difference.
Let's establish rapport, and we're about to get everything settled when Janice loses it on one of the guards, right? Now, they're all armed with fully automatic weapons.
I didn't give a shit when they were armed.
Go, Janice.
Anyway, let's make a long story short.
I had this under control.
I did. I told her, I got this, babe.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. It's cool. I'm like,
I got this.
Listen, my mom taught me, okay, as a kid. Listen, if you don't have anything else, you have your voice, and you use your voice. And also, I think I heard that if you're in a situation where a bear is trying to attack you, you make yourself look bigger and you make noise, right?
Yeah.
And the bear will back down. So that's what I did. I don't know if that backed them down, but
that works for bears. It seldom works for third world soldiers. Want to conceal them. I'm just saying. Nevertheless,
but
that's not the real story. The real story is, okay, so the jail was horrific. Let's not get into that. The next day, we were taken to the airport. My lawyers are there now because they wouldn't let the lawyers come and talk to me while we were in that second detention. So we're at the airport, and they go, Miss Matt.
No, we were at the immigration
office. I think it was near the airport.
It was near the airport.
Okay, immigration. I had the National Immigration Office, and I'm sitting in the head of immigration for the Dominican Republic. And he said, Miss McAfee, I regret, but you have to go back to America. Mm-hmm. My lawyers are with me. I go, under what grounds? What legal grounds? I said, I came from Cuba. I know international law. You can't send me to any place other than where I came from. Knowing that if they sent me back to Cuba, they would shoot me. But still, I wouldn't do that. So they said, I'm sorry, it's very complicated, Miss McAfee, but you must go back to America. So I called and now that I knew exactly what's happening, I said, now I want you to file, because it was a Friday, around noon. I said, immediately file of an order demanding that I have my day in court before you do anything. Because I knew the courts would accept it. They had to. I mean, we're in international news. John McAfee arrested in the Dominican Republic with a cache of weapons and whatever others.
Stack of cash.
But, good fucking God. I mean, I'm sorry, baby. I mean, anybody who does not carry machine gun with them is an idiot. All right, here we go. Right, AK-47. So,
That's what I'm going to do with my Trump bucks when I get them. I'm going to get myself an AK, and then I'm going to immediately lose it in a boating accident.
Yes.
Guns, I apologize for disturbing your calm, but you and it's different things. So yeah, we had a cat. Serious fucking weapons. We had AR-15s with binary triggers. I don't know if you know what that is. You pull the trigger, it fires. You let the trigger go, it fires. You can rip rounds, sucker. So anyway. That's what's on.
Yes.
So now they're about to take us to the airplane. I tell my lawyers, I said, file this. I said, it's going to take at least 2 hours. And they're about to take us to the plane. I said, don't worry. I'll give you your 2 hours.
Yeah. So they brought the money. Then they brought the money, and they were going to have him count it again.
Me, right. I'm leaving the country.
And John comes to me and he says, okay, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. And so I'm like, okay. And so he goes back over to the room where they're counting the money. And then I see him fall on the floor. And so I'm like, okay, all right, bitch, now cue the tears. So now I'm trying to like, okay, get emotional. And I'm really trying to get the face like, oh, what's wrong? And it was like really hard. But I worked it out, you know, and I'm like freaking out. Oh my gosh, what's happening with him? And because they were all looking at him like, okay, this is bullshit, right? They're looking at him like, okay, sure, you can get up now.
Yeah, but no. I fell on the floor and went into convulsions, pretending to have a stroke or something. I don't know. I just knew that it would cause some stir. So no. Then
he came to, and
I closed my eyes, pretend to pass out. Then I opened my eyes. Then I pretend that I can't recognize anybody.
Yeah.
Not my staff, not Steve, one of the people that about to
get
security with me. He was there. Not my lawyers. Not the head of immigration, who I was just in his office 5 minutes earlier. And not just that, when they approach me, I scream and I shoot. I'm on the floor, so scooting back against the wall, saying, "No, stay away, stay away." So
it was really very convincing.
It was.
I can believe it. Yeah, you're a very eccentric person. I can see.
They were still sending Janice, but they then sent me to the hospital. But I knew they weren't going to send you. Think about it. Okay, John McAfee dies while in Dominican custody, right after his wife, who is his nurse, was sent away.
Yeah.
Now,
the U.S. would
have want.
Yeah.
The U.S. In any case, they grabbed her, put her on the airplane and brought her back to me while I'm in the hospital. Now, all I got to do is fake it for 2 goddamn hours. Any asshole can do that shit. So yes.
Worked out.
Then, okay, about 2 hours after that, the lawyers come in with waving a paper in the air and smiling. And so I told them, I said, you know what, I feel much better. I'd like to leave.
Well, no, not quite. It wasn't actually that quite. He was starting to get up. The lawyer actually told him, he said, okay, wait, you want to, slow down a little. Don't be too
don't jump
too
up
fast.
really fast.
Don't pump out.
And then 5 minutes later, the head of immigration came in saying, Mr. McAfee, where is it you want to go? I said, England. And he goes, we'll send you to England. Mm-hmm. Why? Because, listen, if that went to court, there were people on the balconies filming everything that happened, proving that we were not given the opportunity to get to customs.
Yes.
And they were bringing weapons in without declaring them to customs. They wouldn't let us go through customs. In any case, I knew we'd win. So we went from the worst hellhole of a jail I've ever been in, and I've been in Guatemala, Belize, name it. No, this is the worst.
That was the worst. Oh my gosh.
It was ugly as shit. So no, forget that part. Now they take us in a convoy to the airport. There's a colonel sitting next to us to make sure nothing happens to us until we get the fuck out of the country. We get to the airport. We're put in the VIP room where they bring heads of state. We're served by people with formal uniforms, champagne and caviar, whatever we want. Ask it, they will deliver it.
Yeah. So we ordered Burger King.
We ordered Burger King. Okay. Yeah. I said, anything?
The most American thing.
I want Burger King.
Let's see how far they'll really go.
Right?
They bought us Burger King.
That's
and then
great.
On the airplane, I said, baby, we can't do this forever. We can't just run. When I went to Cuba, I was thumbing my nose up on the beaches of Cuba going, fuck you, America, 90 miles.
Seems crazy that he would do that, but I thought that too, going through it, like, well, why are we antagonizing them? But they were going to come anyways. Yeah. And so it was better to just, antagonize them and make them act quickly and get it over with, which we did. And now we're safe and sound.
Yeah. So yes, we got to go in. And we've been underground, God, 8 months now. And we can't tell you where we are. Even our family and closest friends do not know. Why? Because there are no secrets. If more than Janice and I know that secret. This is just a fact of life.
Yeah.
And we're perfectly happy, except in fucking lockdown.
Yeah. No.
I don't do well. Listen, lock my ass. I'm looking for lawyers. I'm looking for an escape.
There's nothing new on Netflix, for fuck's sake.
No, nothing. That's really watching on we got on a YouTube kick. We were watching every.
Oh yeah, we were watching plane crashes.
Oh, plane crashes. Yeah. get on a kick, we watch them all.
Yeah.
You got the time.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not?
Oh, that's got to
Why
be
not?
really hard.
So anyway,
because you are
that
locked
was
down
our-
now. You know, I mean, you used
Yeah.
to be able to be maybe going out and doing things. I wasn't sure how locked down you guys were before this, you know, as far as like keeping secret where you were, but to not actually be able to go out and do things in the community that you're in, it's got to be extra difficult.
It's stressful. And then, you know, my kids are back in America, so that's hard for me because they're, you know, in my family, and it's just, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is, and you know, we have to just deal with life as it comes, and so
one
that's
day at a time.
what we're. Yeah.
So that's our Dominican Republic story. I don't know how we got on that. Somebody did ask.
No,
This
they
is
were
how our interviews go.
No, you ask about perfect. No, Dominican Republic is a beautiful
It was
country,
very
people.
Is it?
We didn't get to see much. Fortunately, we got to see the inside of jails. We got to see the marina, and we got to see the airport. That was it. But beautiful scenery, beautiful countries. I don't know. Anyway, so this was one of our. And by the way, this was not our most exciting tale since we've been together. We have some seriously fucking exciting things that happen.
Are you guys going to write a book or like make a movie? Because this is seriously.
We were chased, all right,
Yeah.
at 125 miles an hour on a back road in Arizona by a bunch
Bad
of
people.
bad people. They were in a Ford F-150 doing 125. We were in a Ford Focus, and we were both maxed out. They were right on my tail. We started out. See, here's what happened. We were with our security. We had a female gang banger security.
She was in a biker gang.
Yeah, in a biker gang.
Well, that's not even where it started. Okay, just quick story. Okay,
That's
well,
fine.
we have time
Please.
because I don't know. I think people
Yeah, this
are
is my
enjoying
last
this.
interview.
So
You guys
Oh my gosh,
lucky.
everyone's loving this.
everyone
Sorry.
seems to be
Goodbye.
enjoying it. So what kind of kicked this off was what happened in Portland when we were living there at our apartment. They tried to come and collect him around his birthday, and it was about 2 a.m. John wakes me up. He's like, "We gotta go." So I'm like, "What is going on?" I'm thinking he's crazy because, mind you, we had just met at this time. We had only been together for a few months. This was back in 2013, September of 2013. So I follow him. I get up because he just looked panicked. I didn't know what was wrong, but he looks not
I
scared.
wasn't
He
panicked.
looks-
I was saying, it's a hurry. Now, get up.
My
We're going.
apologies. I wasn't panic. So I got up,
I
I
don't
threw
panic.
something on,
Focused.
and we ran. And so, you know, he's running back and forth trying to find somewhere for us to hide in the parking garage. Okay, and I'm looking at all the cameras, and I'm like, okay, these people are going to kick us out because they're going to think we're crazy because it's 2 a.m. and we're running around like crazy people in the parking garage. And so he asked if I would hide in the dumpster, and I said no because that's gross.
Thank God. She said no. You would be, when you hear the finish, we would have been, it had been.
And
All right.
so we
That's when I
decided
knew I was
to.
going to marry her.
So we decided to hide under one of the cars that it was a 2-tier sort of parking system. So we climbed up there, hid under one of the cars. Okay. Now the lights in there were motion detected. And so as soon as we got under there and we were sitting still and it was quiet, the lights went off. And then maybe about 5 minutes later, the lights came on. But you didn't hear the door open. You didn't hear anyone come in, get in their car, do anything. So when the lights came on, they stayed on all night.
Now, I heard
Solid. They never
the
went
door
off.
open.
Yeah.
And there were footsteps, but the lights stayed on. It was off. And then
And they
Meanwhile,
stayed on all night.
inside, there was all kinds of noise. People running up and down stairways. And this is 2 o'clock in the morning. Voices inside. And outside, a garbage truck appeared
Was idling.
and
yeah.
idled for 2 hours.
No,
right
a little,
out.
a little longer than
Maybe
hours,
3
but-
hours while we're in hiding. Garbage truck out there,
And
middle of the
they're
goddamn
looking for
night.
him.
The gate's down and locked.
Yeah.
Nobody can open it unless you have a key and are part of the apartment complex.
Yes.
It opens during the day and stays open, and then at night shuts. So outside this is happening. So I'm just bored as usual. I go to
Yeah,
I
he
fall
starts to
asleep.
fall asleep, and
But Janice gets waking me up because she's
well, because
afraid
he was
I'm gonna-
starting to snore.
That was my story. Yeah.
No, and the people were right there. I mean, all
Yeah.
they had to do was just bend over and look, and they
look,
would
and they would
have
have
seen
seen
us.
us, right?
That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
And
However,
so I was scared shitless. But anyway, so they didn't find us in the dumpster, okay?
no. What happened to the dumpster at what, 4 in the morning?
About 4-ish.
About 4 in the morning, the gate opens.
Oh my gosh.
Now, no one's leaving from the complex.
No. So a car
garbage
didn't
truck
come in.
comes
No one
in.
came out. Yeah.
Takes the dumpster, dumps it, compresses it, goes outside, but doesn't leave. 10 minutes later, somebody inside goes, "Fuck!" at the top of their lungs. They open it up, and we ain't in there, right?
Yeah.
So we wait until 7. After things start moving. Now, a month
Hoping they
before,
compressed you.
yeah.
We weren't. Yeah.
Anyway, we left that and never went back.
But wait, this is my favorite part of this part. Okay, so look at.
Yes.
So okay, before this collection in August, we had a set of the apartment manager, a very nice lady. We liked her very much. And then one day she put on a notice on the door saying the building's being sold, we're getting new management. And then the very next day there was new management. Okay,
and 20 days later,
that never happened.
The building's raided now. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so then fast forward back to after the event and the next morning after they had come with the garbage truck and everything, we go up to our apartment, we get our dogs, and we're getting some whatever we can grab, and we're leaving. And one of our neighbors comes out. She's an older lady, and she says, "Did you guys hear all of that noise here in the hallway?" She said it sounded like people were just running up and down the hallway, and there was just a lot of commotion. And so, we were going to ask about that as well. So we go down in the elevator with her, and the apartment manager is there, but he sees her first. He doesn't see us. And when he sees us, he turns absolutely pale.
Like he saw a ghost.
Pale. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing here?
By the way, we saw him. He never came in before 10. Mm-hmm. He came in at 6 o'clock in the morning and went into the video room where the videotapes are stored. Came out with a bunch of video because that thing was being videoed, right?
And he never even said, "Oh, well, what were you guys doing?" Because we asked, did anybody say that anything was weird happening? But he never even said, "Well, yeah, we saw you guys, you weirdos, running around in our parking garage." Because I said that to just cover, knowing what was going on.
There's a question here. Who were they? What did they want you for?
Okay.
You need to look at our history, people. Jesus God. Start in Belize. Where the entire army was after me for 35 days while I was on the run. My escape into Guatemala, a very public affair, my arrest in Guatemala, my imprisonment in Guatemala, my fight to be returned to the U.S. rather than Belize, where they would have killed me, and how I got back to the States. During that time, I destroyed the entire fucking economy of Belize. Tourism was and I was telling such god-awful stories about the country. Their tourism went to zero.
Ooh.
No one's in there. Oh, God, that's a terrible country, brutal and so on. So they were mad. The cartel was mad because the cartel, Belize is owned by the fucking cartel. People, everybody knows this. Like Colombia, and half of Mexico is owned by the cartel now. So,
and I can attest to that because when I met John, I was a working girl, and I had a pimp, and my pimp was approached by the cartel representative, and he basically signed us up to be parties or persons to help assist them with collecting John.
Yes.
And so definitely they did want him. Yes, they did. They still do. Maybe.
And Janice is working not with me exactly, against me.
I was working against him, but my children were in danger. I was in danger if I didn't.
They threatened
and they
to
would
kill.
have just killed me
Janice's
and gotten
children.
someone else to do.
She did. So anyway, minor, small stories, and that's not the best. And that's not the best. We don't have time for the best right now, but I think we're out of time.
Are we? I don't know. People are still enjoying this.
Okay, Janice wants to continue. Then
no, we don't have to.
You're in control.
You
of the
guys,
time.
We're
we
here
already
for
bribed
the
our
ride.
kids. We told them we're going to give them cash if they left us alone.
Yep, and ice cream.
There have been no interesting questions like what sort of kinky sex do we do? So I've been
Whatever
watching
you
and
want to talk about.
I'm just trying to respond. What does John think about Bill Gates? I met Bill Gates one time, the most boring man I've ever met. I would drive a nail through my foot rather than have to have dinner with him. Matt, I don't know who he. I don't have an opinion. How can you have an opinion about someone you don't know? Here's the issue. What do you think about Bill Gates? What do you know about him? Nothing. Other than what the mainstream media tells you.
True.
And if you believe a single fucking word of mainstream media, then you need to go back into your mom's basement, lock yourself in, and just stay there until this whole stuff.
Now there is scary stuff about Bill Gates, and they're running some new agenda. You know, it's always a good thing. Like they want to. It has something to do with vaccines, but it feels like they want to like track us and all this weird stuff that they're.
Uncomfortable.
I don't know if that. I haven't read enough
Listen,
to intelligently.
If you know that shit, then it certainly is not a secret, is it? Because if
There's a
he's
whole
doing
website.
something, a secret, people, it's not going to be something that you know. Fuck me, that's not how the world works. And if you're going to come out with a new product, listen, secrecy in corporations is paramount. For example, if you got a new product, you don't whisper it to your wife, to your kids, nobody, until it comes out. If you do, you're fucked. So if Bill Gates is doing something, I promise you, you will not know.
So that he has a website. So that's.
It breaks my heart to see you children now just stopping thinking all of a sudden. It used to be in vogue to think. I mean, I remember a time where thinking was, a respected activity. Now it's kind of like grunt work. Oh, that guy thinks, stay away from him.
Get back on TikTok here.
Yeah. Oh boy. I know. I don't watch the news. I try not to read a whole lot of stuff that's just from the mainstream media because I feel that it's geared towards the way they want me to be feeling, and a lot of people in our group and community, in our Liberty Memes community, feel the same exact way, that we don't.
Have you ever
buy
heard of
into all
Liberty
that.
Memes? Are you online at all?
Who?
Liberty Memes?
Liberty Memes. We're a group of.
I feel like you should say yes. Yes.
I don't get out
No,
much.
that's fine. We're a group of voluntarists. We're just sharing about the liberty message through memes and voluntary action and helping people not be dependent on the government. So
So that's what I think of Bill Gates. I don't know him. I have no clue about him, and therefore I will not comment. It's kind of like saying, what do you think of Trump? I don't know him. I never had
what do
dinner
you
with
think
Trump.
about
Even.
Vermin Supreme? He's coming on again tomorrow.
I talk about Vermin. Yes, I'd vote for him.
Yes.
I saw your post that said that his time travel is an unfair advantage. And can you get this lid off the wine? I keep.
That what now?
I saw you posted something on Facebook, and you said that his time travel is an unfair advantage. It's something.
Well, that was his vice president, a time traveler, right? Well, that shouldn't be allowed, should it? I mean, it should. I know the Constitution didn't talk about time travel.
He's
and
fun,
so it's an unfair.
I think he's a good caricature of what politics is now. You know, with the big boot and talking about ponies and teeth brushing, and it's like I feel he's a good representation of what the other people, like Democrats and Republicans running. Actually look like silly,
Sean, you ask about Bo Wright. Listen, I wouldn't even say hi to a person whose first name was Bo. I'm saying right now.
Why? What's wrong with that name?
Are you shitting me?
It's a very distinguished name.
No, well, not since 1920. When's the last time you were named
Janice
Bo?
approval,
Here's the
though,
fact,
so.
I don't know Mr. Wright, and that was a joke. So I'm not trying to diss him, whoever he is. Again, I don't get out much, people. I don't know much about the world. So you need to keep it simple. South Park, Family Guy, King of the Hill, Netflix. I can talk about that shit.
Do you like South Park?
Who?
He loves South Park.
South Park?
Yeah, I
He
love
loves
South
South Park.
Well, yeah,
And American Dad. And
American Dad.
Family Guy.
I would say that's my favorite. All those Family Guy, American Dad, they sort of fluctuate between number one and number two in my mind.
Yeah. That's so great. Janice, can I ask you a question? So I talked about traveling and, where John has been and what he thought was the most beautiful place on earth, of places that you've been. Where do you feel like is for you, like the best you want to go back there as soon as you get out of quarantine or lockdown?
if I could remove the people from this place, the Bahamas,
Okay.
they weren't the greatest to an American black person. Maybe it's because I was with John and he thinks he's black. I don't know, but they weren't the nicest. I mean, the few that we were friends with were, but overall, not so much. But the place was very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
But somewhere where the people are just as beautiful as the place, Cuba.
Really?
Cuba, number one, hands down. They are, I mean, just their spirit. They are beautiful people there. I mean, and all the suffering, I guess you could call it that they've gone through. It has not diminished their spirits. They still smile and they're
That's
happy,
beautiful.
and they have so little. And they're so happy. And so I would love to go back there for sure.
Yeah, Cuba's spectacular. And by the way, I forget who it was now. Someone asked how life at sea was.
Yeah.
I had your name on my top my tongue, but I forgot. We're not at sea, and it's not been for 8 months.
And we weren't. Well, technically, we weren't really at sea when we were on the boat. We were just, going from harbor to harbor. We weren't really docked out in the ocean. We were at harbors because I'm not a boat person, so we couldn't just be anchored out somewhere. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now there was a theory that went through one of our groups, but that you may have been flying a drone over a certain island. Do you know anything about that?
If I did, would I tell you? I mean, people ask the craziest questions. Did you kill that man?
That one came up a lot.
Were you flying a drone over Epstein's Island as if anybody in their right mind would tell you? Please.
I'm watching Janice.
Oh, Epstein didn't kill
What was that?
his son. Throw that out there. Epstein didn't kill himself.
John's
Just
thoughts
throw that out there.
on economic change happening now. Yeah, okay.
Is
No.
this the end of physical currency?
No, this is the end of us, people. Please, not the coronavirus, no, but our response to it. I want you to consider all the businesses that are going to go under. Did we talk about that on this already?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
A little bit.
Did I talk about that already? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You mentioned
we got that.
tourism being one of the first things.
Yeah, we're interested in the currency.
So
Like, a lot
under-
of people think we're going to go onto a digital currency, not necessarily.
that money is going to be, more.
It's going to be the same thing. Who cares? You're kind of on digital currency now with your credit cards.
Pretty much,
right?
yeah. I
True.
don't
What's
carry
the
much
difference?
cash.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't carry credit cards. Right? Well, Madman carries credit cards. They can tell where you are with a credit card. You know that. You buy something and the CIA knows exactly where you're. So we don't have credit cards. We don't have telephones. We cannot have phones and still be free.
Yeah, that's
You cannot be on the run for the telephone, people. I will tell you now, we have experience with that shit. So no, the economy is collapsing, people, and I don't know what's going to come out the other end. I just don't. Brand new for me.
Yeah.
Condoms are discriminatory.
we get weird comments.
You're awesome.
Our comment section is pretty crazy.
I never know who to ban because a lot of them are lighthearted.
We have a comment that makes me think.
I saw the word.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of, I have never used a condom and never will. I'm sorry. If I'm not going to be able to touch the person physically, then I'm not doing it if I'm going to have sex. What insanity is that, people? A barrier between you and the person you're trying to commune with? That's not my cup of tea. So I can't speak on that. However, not knowing much about condoms, it interested me as to how they could be discriminatory. I know that the person who wrote that, tell me.
Discriminating is the point of the condom.
Is that the same person?
I think was it Dadman? Was it David Gay who said it? They're discriminatory against germs. Oh, living germs.
I don't have to worry about that since I don't discriminate.
Oh, Peter says it's like taking a shower while wearing a raincoat. Oh my gosh.
That's it. So, and listen, I never insisted, if the woman said, wear a condom, I'll go, well, let's just go to a movie instead, shall we?
Oh, geez.
What was your guys' first date? Can I ask that?
No.
What was your first date?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Our first date.
What?
Wait, our first date. Oh, jeez.
No. You mean the first time we met?
No, the first date. Our first date. No, when we were on the road, because we were, he had just bought his pickup, Dodge
Now,
Ram.
let me ask you a question, what you mean by first date. I'm sorry. I think you're missing.
Where you took me out.
Well,
No. Do you mean where I actually formally took her outside to go to dinner or something? Or the first time we got together and we're in bed together?
No, she's not asking about that.
I don't know.
you both
The
can
first
answer
time-
however you want to. Janice can give her answer, and then he can give his answer.
Okay.
God, do you want to give your answer?
I'll do mine
He
first.
likes his
And then-
answer. He's bitch that there.
My
Go
first
ahead.
date with Janice, I think, was the first time she agreed to go back to my hotel room. So I just got out of prison in Guatemala and was deported back to the States. Now, I've been in prison in Guatemala, and I had a shitload of cash on me, and so I'm virtually running that prison. We had women, we had everything except coffee. Can't get any goddamn decent coffee these days there. Well, even though it is the coffee producing
I was
capital.
gonna say.
I don't know how that happened. We couldn't do it. I'm back. Now, I'm in prison in Guatemala with money, and I've been fucking 10 women a day in prison all day long. I mean, I'm raw. I can barely walk. So I don't want pussy. I'm back in America. What do I want? I want a decent fucking cup of coffee. So finally I get to the hotel in South Beach. I know the people there. That's my favorite hotel. It's 1:30 in the morning. And I go out to the News Cafe, which is 1 block away, my favorite coffee shop on the fucking planet. I sit down, I know the waiters, they come on, Miss McAfee, and they know what's happening. They've been reading the news. I'm top of the news for a month because I've been on the run, I've been arrested, is McAfee going to get whatever? So I'm enjoying my cup of coffee, and Janice and her partner, white girl, can't remember her name. I don't know, didn't care.
I don't even remember.
Come on. And Janice made an interesting offer, which I turned down. No, thank you. But she's not giving up, right? She goes, "Can I have a cigarette?" So I go, yes, and they're not leaving. So I said, "Would you like to take a seat?" And which they did. So I've got two pros in front of me. And by the way, my first comment to Janice was, okay, are you girls out looking for old men to drug and roll? And she said,
We don't use trucks.
we roll men without drugs, meaning we're serious fucking principals. All right?
I can dig it.
But we both, in that first thing, told each other who we are.
Yes.
I've been around the block, bitch.
I'm not the one.
I'm not the one. And Janice goes, okay, I'm a pro. All right, so good. Now, have a seat and let's talk.
Yeah.
Turned out that Janice had a brain, a very bright one, and was entertaining. The white bitch was.
She was high on Molly. So
on Molly.
Oh, no.
So I finally lean over to Janice and I say, "Can you dump your friend?" And so Janice leans over and the friend disappears like a puff of smoke. I like that. So now Janice and I are sitting at coffee, and I think,
we
you
talked
know
for
what?
a few hours. Yeah.
We talked for a few hours, right? Hadn't paid her a dime.
No.
So this is all
Well,
on
I
the
was
come
just bored,
for her.
actually. So
Is that it?
it was a slow night. So
So finally, I say, all right, I'll pay you $1,000 if you come back to my hotel room. I don't want any sex, please. And I
he just
didn't
wanted
get
to
any
cuddle.
sex. I just
He
want
just
to
wanted to cuddle, right? So listen, but I'm
it's hard to
like,
cuddle in
no,
prison.
see,
Try
you
it.
said all. I was thinking, like, what kind of kinky shit is that? Like, what kind of cuddle? I've never heard of cuddling and what I'm going to have to do. So I'm like, all right, okay.
Oh, here's a comment. We don't do drugs. No, we don't use drugs.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
what,
use drugs.
Didn't say they don't do drugs. We don't use drugs.
I didn't need to use
Right?
drugs.
They don't need to use drugs. That didn't mean they didn't do drugs. Of course they did drugs. Good God Almighty. Yes. So pay attention to words. I use words sparingly, and every word means something. People, we don't use drugs to roll over men. Didn't say we don't do drugs. Anyway, so now she agrees. We go back to the hotel room, and I fulfill my part of the part. Is I fell asleep.
He just wanted to cuddle.
I just wanted to cuddle.
He actually just wanted to cuddle, and he fell asleep like within 5 minutes.
Yes.
And I fell asleep like I don't know when, but I woke up in the middle of the night and went to pee, and I just remember going right back to bed, like not even thinking about my pimp or him calling me or anything. I didn't care. I just wanted to. I was comfortable. I was getting some rest, and it was very nice. It was. Oh, that's really. Oh, it was kind of sweet. Yeah.
That is. Oh my gosh.
Seriously, unless you've been in prison, you don't really know what you missed, do you? And I've been jailed more times than I can count, so I relish my freedom. And when I get out of jail, there are certain things I want. Sometimes you can't get sex in jail, in which case, especially if you're heterosexual, which I am. Fortunately, in places like Guatemala, Belize, and others, you can get as much pussy as you want in any jail if you've got money. Nevertheless,
it was rough. And for me, I was getting beat a lot, and I was just miserable. And so I was just happy to not have to be getting beat up for not bringing enough money or whatever. I was just happy to, I don't know, have met him. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird sort of love story, I guess.
It's beautiful.
It works.
Is what it is. It is. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yes. That's really it. Listen.
That is really what happened, honestly.
My member was so raw from fucking on stuff.
Will you please stop talking about it?
I'm just saying. I didn't want it. But I did want to cuddle. I did want to cuddle.
You did want to cuddle.
Right? So no.
Yeah.
Yes. In a comfortable bed, right?
Yes.
Try to get a mattress smuggled into a prison sometime. It's even I can't do it. So no. I did get computers. I got computers and phones. Listen, God, I had a set up there, but no mattress.
But no mattress.
So that was our, in my mind, that was our first date. Now, Janice is more formal when it comes to date. Now, you tell our
really
first date.
Formal. Well, I guess for me, our first date would have been South Beach. So it was the next day. So it's the next day. Okay, let me tell you this little bit. So in the morning, we wake up and I'm like, okay, thinking he's going to be like, okay, that was nice, whatever. And so he says, well, I have this interview to go to. Will you be here when I come back? And I was like, wait, what? Really? Yeah,
that's something that professional women do not hear.
No,
right.
This I knew.
So he said I could go and get breakfast and he would be back. And so I went and had breakfast downstairs, and this cab driver comes and he says, he comes straight to me and he says, oh, so do you know John McAfee? And I'm like, no, I don't know who you are or why you're talking to me. And he was like, okay, well, can you just tell him that his cab driver's here? And so I'm like, well, I don't know who that is. So I can't do that for you. But anyways, it was weird. So when he comes back from his interview, he's like, okay, well, I told him what happened, who the person was. And he decided that we should go out and go get something to eat because he wanted to, I guess, assess the situation of what people were following us or whatever. So we went and had lunch at this Italian place. And
the press, I don't think the press had found us yet, so we weren't and when the press found us, we couldn't go out without hundreds of cameras following us.
I'm sure.
And so we're sitting there at lunch, and I'm watching. This to me was the date because it was real. Okay, so he's watching the traffic, watching the foot traffic, and so am I. And I see him when he saw someone that looked sketchy, he grabbed the butter knife and put it on his lap and kind of just leaned back as we're casually talking with one another. And I'm watching, the cars. So that for me was more of a real date, given our situation, given his background, my background, it was a little more real for me. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it though. And this was back in 2013?
2012.
2012, December 14th.
We met December 14th.
14th, 2012.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So,
this is beautiful.
Dude, this is so amazing.
Someone was asked what our favorite drug was, or my favorite drug, or what the best drug is. I get that a
this
lot,
is
but
his-
well,
yeah.
what do you mean? Best for what? Are you wanting to get some intense introspection?
Where do you want to
LSD?
go?
Yeah. Are you trying to stay up late for exams? Well, I mean, it used to be, I'd say, methamphetamines, but now it's the cathinones like alpha PHP. Do you want to make the sexual experience something you've never fucking dreamed of? Methylene dioxypyrovalenol. That's MDP.
Writing this down.
Hang on. But now, MDPV. Let me give you a warning. So, first of all, I don't think you can get it anywhere, or it is so massively outlawed everywhere. But MDPV is the only drug I know that is so dosage dependent that you need a $10,000 scale in order to use it. I'm serious, people, because let's just say, normally it would be 1 milligram for every 35 pounds of weight. So let's assume 5 milligrams is your dosage. I'm trying to round it up to make it easy for the people that think that 2 + 2 is 22. So now, let's assume. And by the way, do you remember? 5 or 6 years ago, a guy in Miami ate somebody's face off. You remember that?
Yeah, but they call that bath salts. Is
Yeah,
that what that was?
He was on MDPV. Now, let me tell you why he did that. So it's dosage dependent. So let's assume 5 milligrams is your dose, and you take 4.9 milligrams. You're not going to feel anything. Nothing is going to happen. Let's assume you take 5.1 milligrams. You're going to eat someone's face. So now, that's the MDPV. Now, I had a very expensive scale. I always have an expensive scale. And if you want to do drugs, you need one. So I cannot. However, the best sex drug ever, people, you will not fucking believe it. It will turn the average school teacher into the biggest slut on the planet, willing to do anything fucking. Yes, we do. So that's for sex, MDPV. What about for communing with nature? Many people would say ayahuasca. I disagree fully. I would say either peyote or mescaline. 2 of my utter favorite psychedelic drugs. No, I could go on forever, people. What is it you want? Then I'll tell you what the best drug is.
I would, being out in nature, I mean, that does sound really nice. Sex too.
What's going to make me piss clean on Monday when I go back to
Oh,
work?
yeah. How quick does that stuff get out of your system,
You do not want to take any of the cathinones. One of the side effects of MDPV is if you do get the correct dose, you're going to be up for at least 4 days, at least, without sleeping and without feeling tired.
Dude, my kids
when you
are
do
so happy.
Crash, it's a serious crash. It's a serious crash when you do crash.
Yeah.
So you need Xanax about 50 times the average dose, and you'll go to sleep.
Now, are
He
you
says that you're like 2 bottles into the tequila and you're still awake.
Oh my.
you still rocking like this? I mean, you're getting. I don't want to say, but have you slowed down at all?
Say it, Dave.
No.
I saw your post and it said about your doctor said, if you keep smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day, if you keep drinking this way, if you keep doing all these drugs,
You're not going to see Christmas.
Yeah, and you're the end though. I really love what you said, but this is me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty freaking rad. So this is you every day.
Here's the problem. Nobody's himself anymore. Mm-hmm. People are what other people want them to be, and people are willing to be what others want them to be. And if you think I'm lying, why don't you take a look at yourselves? If you can remember when you were courting, dating, trying to get laid, were you yourself? Hell no. You would assess the situation and the person and go, you know what? They're probably looking for an adventurous type that's gentle and can play piano. Right? Or they're looking for this. No, you pretend to be whatever is necessary to get your end goals. Well, that's a problem. I stopped doing that longer ago than I can remember. I am who I am. Like I said, I don't wear condoms. You demand condoms? Let's go see a movie. Go out and eat. Because that ain't happening. I'm just being me.
Good.
Is there anything left on your bucket list?
That's a good question.
I don't have. I mean, I can't think of anything I haven't done, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a pilot. I have flown sport planes through canyons. I have sailed the seas. I have married the woman of my dreams. Admittedly, it's my 6th marriage, but still the woman of my dreams.
Really? Number 6?
5, maybe. I can't remember exactly.
It's number 4. But okay, I'll take this.
I have.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, Janice, I love you.
Let's not think you're involved in the thing. It doesn't matter. 4 to 6. However, the number of women I have lived with is astronomical. I lived with 7 women at the same time in 2013. From 2011 to 2012. I don't know what else there is to do that I haven't done.
I saw you said it'd be horrible if you were quarantined at that point in your life.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, all you men out there think, oh, what a dream. And you should take a look at these women. They were not bad looking.
I think I've seen some pictures.
You've seen pictures from the age of 20 to 28 on, and I was 67 at the time. They were good-looking women and hot in the sack. But God damn it, it was a horror. I mean, you have no idea when you're living with more than one woman how the women get together to torture you.
You ain't on that team.
Even on those rare occasions when I allowed it, we'd all have sex together in this massive bed I had specially made that would fit 10 people. After an hour, I'm up watching TV. Why? Because number one, the girls are all into each other. It gets complicated. I want to tell you right now.
I believe
I mean,
it.
there you are, man, and it's kind of like, first of all, everybody's got their hands all over your member for a while, and then they notice each other, and then suddenly you're off in the periphery, right? Trying to get
out of the pile.
Charlie Brown, like,
go play some Xbox.
Trying to get into a gaggle of 7 women having sex is the most difficult thing in the world. So I just get up, I watch TV. A few hours later, they'd either all fall asleep, and I'd go back to bed and fall asleep, or I'd go to another part of the house and sleep myself. So no, it's not all fun and games, people. I'm telling you now.
Speaking the truth. It's not what it looks like.
Because I see
no. And if in fact Warren, and by the way, I don't know if any of you have seen the pieces about Amy, who tried to shoot me in the head. Blew my ear.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
No, whoa. She's on Dateline. You guys go to Dateline and look up Dateline, Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah.
That's a whole series of many hours of documentary on what I was doing down there. Amy's up there going, so you tried to kill him? She goes, yes, I tried to shoot him in the head, but I somehow missed. The reason she missed is she put the gun, I was sleeping, she put the gun to my temple, then turned her head, right? Because she told me that later. But thank God it was a .357 Magnum pistol with an 8-pound trigger pull. So as she pulls the trigger, the gun goes like this.
Yeah.
So instead of going here, it went here, but it blew my eardrum out.
Oh my gosh.
I went down my neck, and there's Amy. Amy's just looking at the gun like, what? What?
Yikes.
So no, I took her TV privileges away for a whole fucking month. Now she's going, well, this is the truth. People, what did you do? I took her TV privileges away. Why? She loved television.
Bad Amy.
Bad Amy.
No, bad.
At 20, Amy was 20. She was the youngest at that time, and she loved TV. And I had bought her all the South Park series and all of the Family. She loved Family Guy and Stewie. I took all that shit away for a whole month. So, and then she tried to tried to kill me again. She tried to cut my throat with a straight razor, which she also said. She also said, yes, and I also tried to cut his throat. But he just leaned back against the wall and said, do it, Amy. And when he said that, I just couldn't do it. And she says this on TV. But she wasn't the only one. Samantha also tried to kill me. So that's 2 out of 7. There's something to think about, men. If you're not prepared to have women try to shoot you in the head and cut your throat, do not attempt living with 7 women. Yeah. Just my advice.
See, it's not all they make it out to be.
Okay, Sonny, I got to go look up these stories. Go on to go to Google, look up Dateline, Amy Herbert. And if that doesn't work, you go Dateline, Trouble in Paradise, Amy.
That'd probably be the easiest. Trouble in Paradise.
Trouble in Paradise is the name of the series. Dateline, Trouble in Paradise, Amy. And you'll get that. It is amazing to watch, I'm telling you now. So, no.
And also, if you want to know more about, just his background and what is going on, maybe don't pay attention so much to the sensationalized stories, try to find something that he's written about his experience, and that way you can have a little more background information about these crazy.
And it does take a little digging to get past the sensationalized stuff.
You should do a blog. Are you doing a blog? You need to write this down.
No, he was doing a blog. He was, but I think you were doing a blog before.
A blog?
A blog, yeah. Your Who Was McAfee blog.
Oh, yeah. But that's while I was on the run.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only reason I stayed alive, is I kept every day. I've added it to my blog, and so everybody's reading it, everybody in the world. And so if you're for the news, they cannot openly shoot you in the head, can they?
They need answers.
So anyway, but I did escape. That's another story, but way too long for this one. And that's probably the most spectacular escape of my life. It took weeks of planning and 10 different people to implement. And Vice magazine, who sent Rocco Rocoro down to escape with me. He was the senior editor.
Yeah.
And Robert King, the world famous war photographer, he came. That we don't have time for that. It's a long story. But escapes, that's the most spectacular that I've experienced personally. I've escaped from a lot of things.
Now, there's a video on Netflix. How do you feel about that one? I can't think of the name right now.
I've never seen it. I've never. Listen, I live in these shoes. Why do I want to watch something for me? So no, I've never seen it.
And if a
don't watch. The only reason I watched Amy's thing because it's Amy. What did Amy have to say? All right, she's going to say something weird. You did.
She's going to say something weird.
Did you try to kill her? Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. She goes. Wait. Yes. Uh-huh. Really? Yeah. I tried to shoot him in the head. Somehow I missed.
I think you're going to ask.
Then she goes, "Oh, and I tried to cut his throat." Sorry.
If a producer were to approach you right now and want to make a new Netflix documentary with interviews with you, would you be open to that?
No, of course not. Why the fuck would I cooperate with someone making a documentary about me? That makes no sense.
I was going to ask the question.
Tiger King is so big right now. I feel like this story is way better than that.
Who would you want to play? Who would you want to play you in a movie? That's what I was going to ask, because people have asked that a couple times.
Okay, well, it's already coming up. I mean, the movie King of the Jungle is coming out next spring.
I think I saw it.
It's about me, and I'm being played now by Michael Keaton. Thank God. It was really Johnny Depp. No, Johnny Depp signed on originally. I raised all kinds of hell. It got nothing to do with the movie. Nothing. I still raised hell. I mean, I've still got enough voice to piss people off. So, and they asked who I did want. I said Morgan Freeman. I'm serious. I want Morgan Freeman. You go, but he's black. I go, so what?
So what? Right.
2020.
He's awesome.
Crazy? No, I thought he would do a great job. Mm-hmm. In fact, here's one. Look up this. Yeah. Okay. Go on Google. It was Variety or one of the Hollywood magazines wrote a little story, a fake opening scene for the McAfee movie starring Morgan Freeman. It was awesome. I mean, you could see it. It starts off. The light is dim. There are silk hangings from the ceiling. And between the hangings are naked, nubile women dancing with each other. A capuchin monkey rolls doobies on a coffee table. And it's fucking awesome. You could see that he could play me. But now it's Michael Keaton coming out next. And who's playing? Who's playing the reporter?
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron is playing the reporter. Okay, it's about a 2-week period of my life when I was visited by a reporter from Wired magazine, and the world unraveled while he was there, mostly because I unraveled it for him.
Oh, wow.
So that's
beautiful. Now, do you have input on this project? Like, is this a positive on you, or are they gonna do you dirty?
Nothing. Now, let me give you an example of how I fucked with it. Now, I don't like reporters, just to be honest. I never liked Wired magazine, and when they said they were going to ask if they could send a reporter down to live with me for a couple of weeks, and then write a story, I go, yeah, that should be. So yeah, they sent down. And I said, sure, send him down. And all I do is fuck with reporters. They should have looked me up before they sent him. I don't know what to tell you. So they sent him down. The second day he was there. I gave him an entire day to say, is he a decent guy? I don't want to fuck with him and destroy him. No, he was an asshole. So good. I had no trouble. Second day, he's interviewing me. We're in San Pedro at this time. We're in San Pedro at this point. In the main house where the 7 women were living, but I have my own little separate cabana, and he's sitting across the table from me. So, and I always go armed, and I had a shoulder holster with a 38 special. So while he's talking and asking questions, while I'm answering, I pull the thing out, and I'm looking at him. I open it and dump the bullets out on the table, and I just look over briefly, take one, put it back in the chamber, close it, spin it. And while I'm talking, I say, well, the problem with that is that, but it didn't go off. I go, click.
Click.
He screams. He comes back against him. Stop! You don't have to do this. I go, do what? Then I spun it. I did it about 20 times. And he is all but in a puddle.
Me too.
So then I say, okay, no more. And he's shaking. I said, come on, let's go outside for some fresh air. So we go out on the porch, and I take the pistol, point it at the sand, pull the trigger, goes, boom! Sand flies everywhere. Now, I'm a sleight of hand specialist, people. That's another thing you should look up before you fuck with me.
Holy shit.
You do
magic? Man, he went back and wrote the story as if it was real.
Oh
how did he do it? Yeah. All those times. How did he not kill him? It was like, are you insane?
Because it was not in there.
This was 7 beautiful women on the most gorgeous thing. I've got boats, and I'm going to kill myself. Are you fucking insane? No. And so that was the beginning of it, and it got worse from there. When he left, he was unraveled to the infinite degree. And I'm sorry.
Just like it got worse from there.
That hit us all real quick. It was.
Oh my gosh. Oh, how did this person end up leaving? Like, were they? Are they okay?
Are they okay?
Well, they were not okay.
And I spent like the rest of his life now. Well, since he's met John, just writing trash about John.
Yeah, just writes trash about me now.
Oh, come on!
You scarred him permanently, I guess.
There are a couple of people like that. The second guy is who's the co-producer of the documentary about me?
Oh, Nanette.
No, not Nanette. The man.
I thought we were talking about him. Josh Davis.
That's Josh Davis, no, honey. That's Josh Davis didn't write that.
Who's the other guy?
Fuck. Anyway,
someone else.
That was another one I made an enemy of early on, and he wrote a total of 19 articles about me, and co-produced the documentary about me.
Oh, Jeff Weiss.
Jeff Weiss.
Yeah.
Because I fucked his wife. So anyway, that's neither there.
He's been known to do that from time to time.
I regret. But look at it's a reporter. It is not adultery if the woman's husband is a reporter. I'm sorry.
There we go.
No, they're not people. I don't
You
respect
heard it
them.
here first. Not
Josh
adultery.
Davis. Josh Davis. Look it up. Look up the things he's written about me. Oh, he wrote an article for Psychology Today, which he got published. He's not a shrink, where he diagnoses me as a
narcissist or something, or schizophrenic.
Not the sociopath, but the danger of psychopath. A psychopath of some kind. He's not a shrink. He's not anybody. And yet they published it. I never complained. This is shit. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what they write about me. Why would I give a flying fuck? I got my own issues to deal with here, not yours. So.
Yeah. I love that outlook, though. You know, just like, I don't care. Who cares? Whatever.
It's like, I want to, but also terrified to hang out with you guys. I'm like,
Someone. So Jeff Wise. No, it's Wise. W-I-Z-E. Not
Oh,
Wise.
just like that?
No, W-I-S-E.
Oh, he said you were a sociopath.
Did he say I was a sociopath?
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
right.
what said.
A lot of people are sociopaths.
Yes.
They're serious.
Because people ask me what my problem is, I go, I think I'm a psychopath. But now I know it. Sociopath. Thank you very much.
That is. Psychopath sounds a lot more violent.
It's no fun. I will know the exact answer. I'm a sociopath. That's my problem.
Yeah, that's fine. A lot of people are.
Janice, how do you feel with all of you know the interviews and things? I mean, and people maybe coming into your guys' place, you know, your safe space, I guess, and you know, just trying to get information. It's probably hard to trust a person coming into your home.
Yeah, I heard you're like a trophy to get to hack John McAfee.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to hack me these days. It is. Everybody tries. Number one, hey, we don't have phones anymore. That made your task 100 times more difficult. You hackers out there trying to score one. Keep trying.
Yeah.
But the interviews, they're you know, at first they were a little unnerving because I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to, you know, I don't want people to know who I am. I don't like it. But, you know, you kind of get used to it. And John's, you know, he's very gracious and he'll pull me in on some of them just to kind of get used to.
Yeah, you guys look like Janice would groove with you. So that's why
I am having so much fun.
We are very flattered.
This is like our date night, you know, that we don't get to have anymore because we're quarantined.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sure you guys are having fun socializing, you know, and it's like we get to socialize.
But I am going to have to leave you. I'm an old, decrepit old man. I'm 74. I get tired easily, and I've been talking for 2 hours, and I was talking
this is fun.
for 2 interviews. It was fun. And put these people
on the list.
On the list. We have a list of people.
No, tell them what the list is for.
Pardon?
It's just don't tell them. It's a secret. You're just on the list. So
Another list. Yay!
I'm guessing this is a good list, though.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's that list that I'm going to find you, motherfucker. You just wait. There's that list, right?
That list. Sorry.
That's
It's
cool.
not that list, right? Because somebody else said here you had enough Bitcoin to probably assassinate everybody in the chat.
Oh boy. This was so fun, and you guys were so gracious to stay around like extra long, and we were just letting you do. You were running the show as long as you wanted to talk. Everybody loved the stories. Meeting Janice, hearing from
awesome.
John, this was freaking epic. Seriously, everybody has so enjoyed their time.
Extended a little bit because people don't really get to hear from John a lot, and they just get to hear him answering the same questions over and over. And so when I'm on, I like to kind of, if you know the hosts are nice enough, you know, just kind of let him so people can see who he is a little bit more. You know, who they can see who he is when I get to, you know, when it's just me and him. You know.
Hey, Janice, first Janice 2020. You should be running, not me. What the fuck? Anyway.
Well, it's you guys, right? Well, someone said they're writing in Janice for president.
Thank you. Yes, thank everybody so much.
Thank you so
this
much.
Was awesome.
And we love the questions, and we love the synergy, and we had a good time. And thankfully, this was our last interview. I do 3 a night, every night.
Thank you.
And I did 2 just before this, so we had the time.
Thank you for the extra time. This was wonderful.
The last. If you ever have them on again, schedule them last, all right?
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
It was lovely talking to you guys.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
my gosh, so that just happened, guys. Holy moly. And the time went by so fast. And I was so nervous at first, and then I just got really comfortable because it just felt like they were our friends, like, talking. Yikes! That just happened!
That was epic.
I was probably talking the whole time that they were probably still on there. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I feel like I just want to go hang out with them. I love Janice.
And terrified. That's why I said it. It's like... just like intimate, you'd feel like it was normal.
Give me some more wine. I gotta drink some wine.
Holy cow, man!
I was trying not to drink all the wine. I drank half a bottle of wine while we were chatting. My kids are upstairs, like
we were given a half hour.
Yeah,
that's what the specs said.
Yeah, it said half an hour.
A half hour block.
I hope he comes back on and tells us that crazy story. The crazy story. You know, the one where. He says is the Great Escape, you know? Like, all of his stories are crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine living... Oh, hi. We're back suddenly. I'm like, watching
I just wanted to end with that. I hope he comes back and tells us the crazy story. I'm sorry. Was that wrong?
No, I didn't know. I didn't when you were going to come back.
Should have not. Do you want to take a break? Just say goodnight.
Just sad.
I know.
Thanks for rewatching that with us. That was like one of the funnest moments of my life. Like, so much fun. And you guys being there made it so great, and rereading all the comments and everything like that was coming up. It was really fun. My heart aches. I just want to hug Janice. They were really super nice people. I do too, Dottie. I want to think and believe in my heart that he faked it all, like he faked his death. And that he's somewhere with Janice right now and they're happy together. Because that was a lot of fun. They were really nice people.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Like, really hearing their stories and what they'd been through.
Mm-hmm.
And how they met, you know? It was good.
Kirk.
Hi, Kirk.
Forgot we brought all the chats back on. That was tough. I was trying to like follow 5 different chats. I had the one on this, the old one, the new one. Luckily, nobody's on low res, so one less.
Yeah. I have to believe, like.
Well, watching that gave me a little more hope, even though I'm still kind of realistic about it. But just he's so tenacious.
I know. I'm like he could totally have faked his death.
He's like taking his teeth out and jamming them into somebody else's head.
Yeah. Like he's totally still alive, you guys. I believe it. This is this isn't like Elvis conspiracy. John McAfee is still alive. And I hope they're together somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I have to believe. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming in.
Yeah, we gotta get to bed.
That was a lot of fun.
This isn't a real stream night. I gotta get some rest.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow is Friday night, and we're gonna hang out with you guys.
I don't think there's a guest.
And then the following week we're gonna have Spike Cohen back on, which is gonna be
another
so
amazing
much fun.
guest.
He is so great. Yeah. I'm like reading the comments like, oh wait, this is live.
Yeah, this
right
is
now.
real comments now.
These are live now. Yeah, it was so much fun to read through because I couldn't when I was talking to him. I would like see a few comments here and there, but like to actually like sit back and like watch.
It was nice that everything else was so exciting that we didn't have to watch ourselves and be self-conscious about it.
Yeah,
but it was all right.
It was yeah.
Because we don't watch our shows.
I tried not to listen to myself.
Yeah. Luckily, the audio was low enough we could barely hear
Yeah,
ourselves. But
I was just paying attention to them, and I'm like, so is everybody else, Mary. So just you're fine. Oh my goodness, this was Oh gosh, I wish that he could come back and tell us about that. Yeah.
that getaway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But who knows? Who knows? Right? I'm just gonna say, yeah. So Spike will be on the second, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a ton of fun because he is always. I love watching him.
He's our people.
He is funny. He's a funny man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how he's doing that thing? Tomorrow night, I think he's doing like he's going out shooting somewhere.
That's that old picture where he's like got his
Yeah,
shirt open.
and they didn't have a picture of him shooting, so they're like, we're just gonna use this picture of him. He's so funny. He's so funny. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So now that interview's been
Thanks,
refreshed on
Toaster.
our YouTube.
Yep.
If you look back a year, you'll find the same interview. You'll find.
We're gonna cuddle. We're gonna totally cuddle.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's a weird thing to like.
It's like I don't think we're best friends. They might not even remember us. You know, he was doing like 100 interviews when he interviewed with us. But I really think.
I think
they did. Yeah, I think they had fun, and
I think Janice put us on a list because he said put them on a list,
Yeah.
and she said they had fun. So it's not like we're
I
best
believe
friends or
I
anything.
believe that list existed. It
Yeah.
sounded like that was a real list that we got
Yeah.
put on. That's kind of exciting.
I'm cool with that list. Because of you
Wait, what
guys.
list?
Because of you
Yeah.
guys. Oh my gosh, this would not be happening. So we're coming up on 3 years right now, and Liberty Late Night would be nothing without you guys being here.
You guys are the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful. Was it Dunmar? I think it was Dunmar that like found.
Just so you know, I did.
McAfee.
I finished it.
McAfee posted.
Oh, then we
some-
attacked his post.
I'll do some podcasts or whatever, or interviews with people who have X amount of
Yeah,
followers
followers
or
and
whatever.
viewers.
And Dunmar was like Liberty Late Night, and then he's like, hey, everybody, come in and tell them about Liberty Late Night.
We dominated that post.
You guys are
Yeah.
you guys are amazing. Yes. So.
All right, let's cut this before it drags on too much.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow
So,
night.
it's only temporarily goodbye.
It's only just a small goodbye. It's less than 24 hours. It's
And
like
I got a little
22
special
hours.
thing for
Yeah.
at the end
Okay.
that I dug
Yeah.
up.
I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. This was so much fun.
It's great.
Thank you. Pray
Right,
for
good night,
Janice.
guys.
Seriously, keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Those in quarantine, and
Oh my
indeed
gosh.
my friend Quetzalcoatl, my pirate parent of days gone by. It's a sad thing because quarantine is sad. I mean, you're locked in with who? With your family, maybe if you were unlucky.
He looks high as fuck.
Those of you who got
Oh, the
locked in
microphone's
with
on.
your
That's fine.
mother,
That's
That's
good.
or something. Well, congratulations. But yes, quarantine. Someday starting with this.
I couldn't regulate this audio.
Is it playing though? Is it playing through? Is it playing?
This gets so good at the end. Yeah, Dottie, you might want to log off now.
Should I close the coop doors?
No.
Oh, because he's gonna do something.
I assume Janice is holding the camera.
Like, I haven't noticed how gorgeous
Oh yes, that's what
you look.
dirty.
He's living
Oh,
he's
shit.
his real life.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Why did you leave me? Why did you leave me?
Whichever will it be? Set the fuck down, PZ Reese. I'm here to spill the real tea. You tryna dethrone me from spot.